Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Don Lewis.
Hello, hello.
And as usual, we are here to do 3-card, more or less, tarot readings.
Yes.
So if you have a question for us, please go ahead and post it in chat. Or if you don't have a question, you can just say hi and tell us where you're from. And here in the US, we're basking in the fact that the heat is broken.
Yes.
I can now sit on my porch and not pretend I'm sitting in a sauna.
It was quite a nice day today here in Illinois also. And hello to Morgane.
Good to see you, Morgane. I am living a little north of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, since we got the very heavy rain on Sunday, or Saturday was it? But since then, it's been cooler than it was.
I was at a 4th of July cookout Saturday, and unfortunately, the storms came through just as they were getting ready to set off the fireworks. And several of us witches were looking at a radar map and conferring over what the best thing to do was as far as trying to move the storm around us, shielding. And as we were working to make the storm go a little to the south of us, a darling little girl who was about 2 sitting in her mother's lap started chanting, "Rain, rain, go away," and just putting so much energy behind it. All right, Morgane has a question. Will I get a job in California this year?
Hello to everyone in the chat room.
Hi, Lucas, and hello, Renee. So yes, we wound up getting the fireworks rained out, but we did get some set off. I guess when a bunch of heathens start setting off fireworks, Thor decides he's invited.
Well, there you go.
And then I had to yell with the youngest grandchild to get in the house. We're standing on the porch and she yells, "It's Thor, Gra! Look at the lightning." "I know it's Thor. Now get in the house."
So I have drawn 3 cards. And the first card is the 3 of Pentacles, which is mastery of craft, knowing what you're doing, being well established professionally. It's followed by the 2 of Swords, which says that the answer to this question is heavily dependent on another person. And that could be a person helping you to get the job. It could be a person who maybe is a reason you hold back from the job, but another person is very heavily involved. Could be a romantic partner, is not necessarily, especially with the 2 of Swords. And we have the 5 of Wands, which says this is distinctly possible, but there's a lot of conflict around it. That conflict could be that it's very disruptive to your life, or it could be that you're not quite sure how you really feel about this. And my recommendation is to take a good hard look at how you really feel about it before moving forward. And then we're going to draw a Brian card for you, because of course we are. We've drawn the Mind, and the Mind says to apply your mind to the situation. Look at how you really feel about the situation. And if you find parts of yourself that have inner conflict, resolve that conflict. You can do that. Well, drawing the mind card says you can do that by convincing yourself what you really want to do. Examine the pros and cons. I would say that if you resolve whatever mixed feelings and or conflicting influences are there, the answer will be yes. But those things must be resolved.
I have the Ace of Lamps. And the Ace of Lamps says to approach this situation with empathy for other people. So who else is going to be affected by your decision if you take a job in California and move to California? Are you leaving people behind? Is someone going to have to pick up their life and move with you? Consider carefully who is going to be affected. Then I've got the Ace of Wands. Now, wands are about our passions, and I usually interpret this card in a question as go for it. Do follow your passions. But consider who else is going to be affected if you go to California. And then I got the Five of Swords, the dumpster fire card. So there is conflict around the question. So I don't know if the conflict is internal to you or if you are having conflict with other people in your life. But there is conflict around this decision if you go. So I'm going to pull a Brian card, and well, I got the Sun.
Here comes the sun. Da, 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 da.
Now, the Sun is a card of good fortune. So that suggests if you can resolve the conflict, that overall it will be a good thing for you to get a job in California and move there. But you do need to resolve this conflict, whether it's internal or external. So I hope you find that helpful, Morgaine.
Yes, indeed.
All right. And Lucas is asking for a general reading.
Okay.
So let me get shuffled up here. I am shuffling, folks. I want to assure everybody who saw the same card show up in 4 readings next week that I shuffle.
It's amazing how that can happen.
Sometimes that energy is just present that day.
Yep.
It's just present. Oh, look, there's my array light and my glasses.
Why, yes, it is.
You're very welcome, Morgaine.
So I've drawn 3 cards for Lucas, and the first one is the Sun. La, 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 la. And the Sun is success, positivity, achieving what you want, good things, all that good stuff. So it's suggesting to me that through the remainder of the summer, heading into fall, Lucas will find themselves in a very good situation. With it is the Ace of Coins, which is money, basically. So I would say that especially in terms of material things, in terms of things that you wish to accomplish financially and career-wise, it's going to be a very good time for you. Take advantage of it. And with that, we have strength. And strength says, you may occasionally feel like you're putting forth a little bit of effort for all of this, but it's well worth putting out the effort for, and you have more than enough strength to do it. And let us draw a Brian card for you, because you can't forget about Brian.
Nope.
We've drawn the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups basically says that, yeah, this is a great situation. This period of the next few months will be very good for you, but it won't be everything that you want. And the key to this situation is do not allow what is not there to blind you to the fact that you're actually in a great situation. There are things that you are wanting to bring into your life. They're going to take a little longer. But what you've already got is good. So enjoy that. And there you go.
Okay. I have the Four of Swords. So this indicates a rest period. So you are going to, or you have been taking a break. I've got the Five of Wands. We got a lot of five energy tonight.
Indeed.
Now, this indicates some conflict. It could be internal, it could be external, but there is some conflict going on. And I've got the Eight of Wands. So once your rest period is over, boy, are things going to move. And I'm going to draw the Brian card, and I get the Queen of Cups. So this is basically happiness and being in a good place emotionally. So I hope that's helpful for you, Lucas. Let's see. Jared James says repeated cards are often messages we definitely need to hear. I agree with you on that. Hello to Michael. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Michael.
Jazz Prism says, hi, does my Aunt Lydia have any messages for me? She's passed away. All right. And Lucas says, thank you.
But we certainly offer condolences for your loss with your aunt's passing. And I mean, we could draw a card to see what we get in response to that. Generally speaking, when a person crosses over, you want to wait about a year before looking for messages, unless they take the effort to send it to you. And this is to give them time to adjust. However, we can see what's there. What do you think, Mary?
We can certainly pull some cards and see what we get. And hello to Erica.
Hello, Erica.
And Jazz says she's been gone since 2013. So,
well, then she's certainly able to send messages.
Yeah, she can send a message if she wants to. Just not FedEx.
You never know. I've heard stories.
You're the medium.
And hello to Colleen.
Hi, Colleen.
So I've drawn 3 cards, and I'll tell you what I get from them. First one is the Sun. Again, that means just what it meant before: success, happiness, good things. And I think I would take this to mean that she wishes good things to you and that you should look for good things around you. With it is the 7 of Coins. 7 of Coins says think about your future. There are things in your future that are not as resolved as they perhaps should be. Work on getting those into clearer focus, but you have the 10 of Coins after, which is happy family, strong foundation. And I think she's basically saying you're going to be just fine. Just make sure your plans are properly set as you go forward. And let's draw a Brian card. Who have drawn magic. And so, yeah, let the magic flow through your life. Allow her and your spirit guides to advise and guide you. Listen to the voice of spirit in your life. Get your things where you want them to be, but basically everything looks very good, and that is the message. And there you go.
So I have the Four of Wands. This is about achieving what you want. Then I got the Nine of Swords. This is the Gasoline Nightmare card. But that card means that whatever it is you're afraid of, it's not nearly as bad as what you think it is. You just need to face it. And then I've got my friend, the Five of Swords again. I shuffled, truly. But you do have some conflict you are going to have to resolve. But I got the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is about being recognized for the work you do and being well rewarded for the work you do. So whatever you're afraid of, turn around and face it. It's not as bad as you think it is. There's conflict that, and maybe that's what you're afraid of, but you're just going to have to face it and deal with it. And then things will work out well for you. So I hope that helps. And greetings to Kayleen and Goody Bell. And is it a conflict or is it like with inner people? I'm not sure, but there's something you're going to have to resolve. It could very well be within yourself.
And Goody Bale would like a reading for what happened today.
Yes. All righty.
I don't know what happened today, but we don't need to.
We don't need to. We just need to shuffle up and see what we get. All right. I got the Eight of Pentacles, and this is about being recognized and rewarded for the work you do. I got the Prince of Pentacles. This is about slow and steady growth. You will get where you want to go, but it might take a while. And I got the Two of Pentacles, and this is about learning new skills. So I hope that is helpful, Goody.
So the three cards that I have drawn, the first one is the Prince of Swords. Prince of Swords. Prince of Swords is good, healthy selfishness, as opposed to nasty selfishness. And it says that in dealing with whatever happened today, you need to make sure that you are paying attention to your own self-interest and that you're getting out of it what you need to get out of it. Whatever is going on in this situation would be very easy for you to ignore your own needs, and that would be bad. So even if you feel like it's being a little selfish, go ahead and be a little selfish, because cards tell you it's necessary in the situation. With that, we have the Empress. And the Empress is happiness and prosperity and good things. And the Magician, which is your ability to work your will in the situation. So I would say you have a good situation that you can do whatever you want to do. Just make sure you're doing what you need to do for what you need to get out of it. And let's try a Brian card, because what's life without a Brian card? The Brian card is the Chariot. The Chariot, as you can see, is very good for the knight, but very bad for the dragon. That brings us back to self-interest. But generally speaking, the Chariot means moving forward progress. So I would say whatever happened today will actually be very good for you. But you have to make sure that you extract the good from it. If you ignore your own interests, it won't be as good for you as it would have been. So make sure you stand up and say, hello, I'm here, give me what I need, and you will get what you need. And there we go.
All right. And I'm sorry you feel like you had a bad day, Goody Bell, but you can turn it around.
If for something that was bad, the potential coming out of it looks awfully good.
I agree. And now
sometimes it is that way.
Yeah. At one point, at a major change in my life, someone offered to do a tarot reading for me, and I was heartbroken at what was going on. And she told me, I know you don't believe it, but you are going to be so happy because of it.
Yeah.
And through that change, and I had more loss because of that change, and I'm like, yeah, you don't know what you were talking about, but she's right.
Yeah.
20 years later, I am so very happy.
You know, I've found that is good advice for so many situations. I can think back to a lot of things that happened in my life that seemed just absolutely disastrous at the time, but turned out to be wonderful gifts from the Spirit. And, you know, they haven't all revealed themselves, but I know what the track record is. So I'm going to assume if something happened, there was a reason for it. And, you know, looking back, you know, some of the things that I thought were terrible setbacks actually were moments of salvation from situations that just weren't good.
So, and we are going to pause now for a word from our sponsors.
Yay! Sponsors!
We love our sponsors.
We do.
Especially these sponsors.
Rev Don's Book of Astrology. Everything you always wanted to know about the stars in one book. Get your copy today at CorellianPublishing.com. Rev Don's Book of Stones, Metals, and Crystals. Everything you always wanted to know about the magical and spiritual properties of stones, metals, and crystals in one book. Get your copy today at CorellianPublishing.com.
And we are back.
We are. And you can get Reverend Don's Book of Stones, Metals and Crystals, and Reverend Don's Book of Astrology, and many other Reverend Don books at CorellianPublishing.com. And you can get your online magical education at witchschool.com. You can buy a lifetime membership at witchschool.org. And we hope that you will do so.
And they are truly lifetime memberships. I'd have to go look, but I got mine in 2012 or 2013, I think.
We have people all the way back 25 years. It continues on into the future.
So it really is lifetime.
In fact, we've exceeded the lifetime of a number of our members over the years, and a number of our mentors over the years. And it truly was there for their whole lives.
So that part, do not be afraid to make the investment. I started out by I took 2 or 3 free courses just to test the waters.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that, yes, a lifetime membership would be worth it.
You know, many years ago at Lustration in Olympia, Washington, in, I want to say 2007, they did a Reverend Don roast, in which people had each had a few minutes to make their little roast of me. And I am so sorry we did not get that on film, because it was quite the interesting evening. And one of the things that people just kept saying over and over again about the school was when they first encountered it with the name Witch School and our slightly hokey theme at that time, visually speaking, they thought, oh, my morals are about to be so offended. And they went to go be outraged. And then they saw the material and said, wait a minute, this is actually serious. This is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed. And I've always been very pleased by that concept. And Large Fish, I believe, in the chat room asks, is there a community aspect as well? And there are community aspects, largely through things like our Facebook groups, through allied organizations such as the Tradition and its various memberships. There are a lot of community aspects to take part in.
So yes, there are.
So yay. Are we out of readings?
No one has asked for one in a few minutes. I'm going to add, we're wrapping up in 15 minutes because I have to take my husband to the hospital at 6 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. He's getting his gallbladder out.
Better
Are
have
there
fun.
ever live virtual gatherings by chance? We do live virtual rituals on the Sabbats.
Yes. The most recent one was on the 28th of June. The next one, let me look at my calendar.
We have not set a date yet.
We haven't, but it's likely to be August 2nd.
Yes, August 2nd is the likeliest date. We need to poll our merry band of ritualists and see when people are most available.
There is also the upcoming Witch School 25th anniversary celebration, which I believe is going to have a number of broadcasts, including some classes and interesting offerings. So we'll have. Well.
we have our annual lustration that happens in the spring.
Yes. I
Uh,
understand next year is to be Atlanta.
I don't think we have a date yet.
We do not yet.
If there will be a lustration in Peoria, Illinois this year.
Yeah, the regional illustration.
Yeah, a regional lustration, and I believe one in Buffalo as well.
Well, and Kayleen is asking and also reminding us of the monthly Crystal Web ritual. And yes, there will be on Saturday evening.
Yes, Saturday at 7. And yes, we can do a general reading for Renee. And thank you, LG Fish and Morgaine. I appreciate good energy for my husband, Don.
Yes.
Not Reverend Don, hubby Don. As I
There has
refer
been
to
confusion in the past.
Yeah, there has been some confusion. So I refer to him as hubby Don to make it clear.
And Colleen says, I love listening to your reading. Blessed
Thank
be.
you.
Thank you, Colleen. You know, we used to, back in the day, have DVDs of meditations and so forth that I would read. And we had to put a warning on them. Do not listen to this while you're driving.
I heard about that. Apparently somebody went to sleep.
Not just somebody. Several people said that my voice was very hypnotic and tended to put them to sleep. And so we ended up putting a warning on the DVDs. And if you want to learn how to do that, it's in the 3rd degree lessons. You may have to go through them a couple of times to fully master it, but it's in there.
Well, I mastered how to make a whole break room full of truck drivers go get in their trucks and deliver the freight.
There you go.
I didn't even have my 1st degree yet, but I mastered that with my voice.
Yep. The voice is really a very powerful instrument. A lot of people have no idea. And although I'm not one of those people, you know, many years ago, when I was working at the DNA Project circuit, which means the 1980s, I met a woman reading under the name of Morning Star, who had just returned from, I want to say, Syria, where she had lived for some years. And she had the point of view that for magic to be successful, you had to use the spoken word to manifest it. I do not agree with that point of view. However, I do agree that the spoken word can be a very powerful tool in manifestation. I don't agree that it's necessary, because I find I manifest just fine without actually speaking anything.
You've cast a spell while I was driving before, and you didn't say a darn word.
Exactly. You know, I'm a great believer that magic needs to help you while you're driving, or why did you bother to learn it? I often say the time when you need your magic is when the car is skidding off the road, and you must be able to use it then, or it's not serving you properly. And so it cannot be based on tools. It cannot be based on elaborate ceremonies. It has to be available in the moment to be truly effective.
When I was doing prison ministry, I would tell my people that actually they were getting a leg up on magic because they couldn't have a lot of tools.
Mm-hmm.
So they were having to learn to work without them. I said, you know, it'll be great when you get out and you can start collecting tools, but you're learning to work without them.
Mm-hmm. I have drawn 3 cards for Renee. The first one is fate or fortune. The wheel of fortune. But it's also fate. And that basically is getting a little help from the universe. And it says that, the things you're dealing with, the universe may smooth your way a little bit. Look for a little help in terms of how things are going. You have the 7 of Coins. 7 of Coins is concern for the future, uncertainty about the future. Kind of says you need to make sure that you have your plans for the future set. Think about them. Look for what maybe isn't where it ought to be. Move it there. And then the veil. The veil is worry about material things. Not necessarily anything bad happening, but worry about it. So you may find yourself worried about material situations during this couple of weeks. Again, work on your plans for the future. That is the correct answer to that. And then for the Brian card, Temperance. Temperance is taking existing things and making new things out of them. It's recreation, recycling, regeneration. So it's saying, you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You're not making some kind of massive change in your life, but you are going to make changes. And you're going to transform some of your situations as you go forward through this next few months. And just have an eye to what needs to be transformed and your plans of how to transform it. And there you go.
First card I've got for you is the Hanged Man. And here we have Odin hanging on Yggdrasil to learn the wisdom of the runes. And so this card is saying that you're not going to learn anything without giving something. You could pay tuition, you give up your time, your money, whatever, but to move forward and learn whatever it is you want to learn, that
Go ahead.
You're not going to learn what you want to learn. And then I've got the Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands is saying you're holding back. There's something you want to do, but you're holding back. And finally, I've got Past. And here we have an older woman looking at her younger self. And Past is talking about giving up what doesn't serve you anymore. And this could be something that served you well previously, but you've outgrown it. So altogether, I'm going to say that you need to move forward in some fashion, and you're holding yourself back. So stop it. Just stop it, Renee, and quit holding on to the past and let yourself move forward. That's the best advice I've got for you.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. And LG Fish says, if there is time for another question, I'd love some insight about what the result will be if I travel to and attend the Sunday afternoon event this weekend. But if you're out of time, I understand. We can do one more question.
Okay.
Morgan says, remember that the tarot reader reads. So if the reader is not able to channel all of the people getting the message from their higher guides ourselves, it's inaccurate. I'm not quite following that, to be honest. And I think we may have a language barrier there.
Well, that might be because I'm not also particularly the first sentence. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to say. I mean, I get the basic message, and I'll agree. Your reading depends on the quality of your reader.
Also, remember this: if it doesn't make sense right this minute, it may later. And I'll refer back to my comment about getting a reading many years ago, right after an event that just devastated me. And the person who did the reading said that from this series of events, I would wind up very happy. And I absolutely didn't believe her. But it did start a chain of events that led me to where I am now, and I am indeed very happy with my life.
My favorite story along those lines involves a Chicago area channeler named Deandra. My friend Judy was one of her clients, and she came to I think it was Thanksgiving dinner at Judy's house, or some dinner at Judy's house, and Judy said, "You know, Deandra, you had predicted that my daughter would be pregnant this month sometime, and she is not pregnant." And Deandra said, "Well, I guess I was wrong then." And I've always thought that was the best reaction. And the daughter was pregnant the following week.
Well, you know.
But even the best reader can sometimes be wrong. And if you encounter that, you own it. I mean, it could have been a bad day, could have been a bad connection, who knows? As it turned out, she was not wrong. But
She was a little late.
yeah, well, she'd said that month. It was still that month. Okay. 3 cards for large fish.
All right. I have got the Prince of Swords. And this card means a little healthy selfishness or maybe even self-care. So, if you are thinking, maybe I need to rest Sunday, not put out the effort to go, take the day off, you're probably right. Then I got the 5 of Wands. We got a lot of conflict tonight.
Yep.
And the 5 of Wands doesn't indicate some conflict. There could be conflict brewing for the event, or since you're asking for a reading about it, you're conflicted about whether or not you want to go. And I got the 2 of Wands, which is asking for spiritual guidance. And I'm going to pull the infamous Brian card. And I've got the 2 of Wands, which is looking at a fire tower. Now that indicates maybe you should go. So, consider what you're conflicted about and consider if being a little selfish is going or staying. Because the cards are suggesting being selfish and taking care of yourself is a good idea.
So the 3 cards I have drawn, we have the 3 of Coins, we have the King of Lamps, and we have Strength. And I'm going to start by saying that I'm really kind of interpreting them to say that you'll be just as well if you don't go. Not to say you'll necessarily be worse if you do, but just as well if you don't. First card, Three of Coins, is being in a good position, mastering your craft, being able to do what you need to do in the material world to get the things that you need to get in that capacity. King of Lamps is meditation. It's also, you can see he's quite alone in the picture. It's saying that you can stay home and meditate and do just as well. And Strength says that you have the strength already to do whatever you need to do. If you go, I'm going to say you're possibly going to end up feeling a little isolated and not really getting what you want from being there. So I'm not saying don't go, but don't have high expectations. And then for the Brian card, we have the Seven of Wands. I'll put them up here for you to see. The Seven of Wands is victory after hard work. So if you go, you can probably get something out of it, but it's not going to be immediate. It would be long term. So there you go.
And hello to Hippie Janet and Shaggy, and
Hello.
we actually are going to shut down now because I'm taking my husband to the hospital very early in the morning to get his gallbladder out. So, no more readings tonight. I'm sorry, but we're going to be up prior to the crack of dawn. So, Reverend Don, will you close us out with a prayer, please?
Absolutely. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we ask you to be with us and to guide us as we go forward, and to help us to see the things we need to see in the world around us, to hear the voice of Spirit leading us forward, and to be warned of whatever might delay or afflict us, and helped to do the things we wish to do. Help us to know our mind, and help us to take the necessary actions when we need to take them. And beloved ones, we thank you. And knowing you are always with us, still from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always. May you be blessed now and always.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. May you blessed be, and we'll see you next week.